let's look at two, and what we call internally project mentality, which we know leads to real shortism and short-term thinking. Do you want to get into the weeds on that one?
Yeah, to us, this is absolutely key, and it's very connected to why technical debt has not been sorted out within organisations. What's the counter to a project mentality? Well, it's a product mentality. That's what we strive for. To understand that when you're writing IT software, it shouldn't be treated as a project. The end of the project should not be when something goes live. That's the start. That's day one of the product. That's when the business users will start using that system and start to reap value. Software has no value when it's in test cycle. It has no value until it's live. It has no value until it starts being used, right? But because of these ROI challenges we've talked to and budget challenges, what ends up happening is the IT teams schedule, they do the estimates and they plan for a project life cycle taking you up to go live. They may have an early life support phase, they may have a transition phase, but they're very much talking about and planning for that implementation phase, right? So, and then they may have separate budgets to maintain the system. And what we see often happening with the project mentality is after go live, it even goes to another team, right? So it goes to a BAU team or a maintenance team, often, trying to go for more maybe junior resources or cheaper resources on that to cut the cost of maintenance. So why would you cut the cost of something when it's only then it starts to add value? It's counterintuitive, really. So in our view, we want to have an approach where, and we think, everyone should have an approach where you get away from that project mentality, you get away from celebration. I mean, celebrating your successes when things go live are fine, but celebrate it even better where you get the stats of the first month's use of what the business users are getting and what the outcomes of that system are, right? And with the project mentality, what will tend to happen is that you will just work on that short-term targets of hitting your requirements, right? Without seeing what is preventing value from being added, without monitoring that system when it's in and being able to slightly divert your attention to the areas that need attention, having a long-term investment plan, investments based on total costs of ownership, not just a ROI projection from go live. If we put this in system in, we're going to save this much or we're going to add this much value. Really think about the total cost of ownership and have clear asset improvement and maintenance approaches, not just project support. Don't fix just the things that people have reported as wrong. Fix the things that are going to cause the product a problem in the future, keeping it current, dealing with tech debt, making sure you've got clear monitoring in place and logging in place so that, run books, support manuals, chatbots that are actually telling the users how to use the system rather than just trying to spend a lot of time trying to understand what their problem is, right? Yeah. So, we would sum all that up into trying to take a product mentality, treating it as a long-term critical product rather than just a project mentality with all the time pressures just to get it over the line and then disband the team. That's no good for the engineering team. It's no good for the product ownership team. It's no good for the users. And ultimately, it's no good for the business.
Yeah. I think from an IT director perspective, if I'm kind of wearing that lens, I'm already starting to grow in confidence about your methodology and the foundation that you build upon. I think that's what we're kind of really talking about now. Those kind of foundations and ways of building business confidence in what we're doing, right?
Yeah, and on our one of our major clients at the moment, that they've really embraced sort of the product team's mentality, and there are two key roles on each of these products. There's the product owner, who is responsible for long-term value of the products at a cost that there is a business case made on, right? but there's also an asset owner. Now, their responsibility is to make sure the asset stays current, doesn't build up technical debt, is secure, maintainable, scalable, resilient, all the abilities that go with a really good, structured product. They work closely with the product owner to understand priorities. So we are getting there with that product team, whereby a security vulnerability will be considered against priority against a business change initiative that will drive a lot of extra revenue. Those two things are not separate with separate budgets. They are considered together, because there's so much value here. Can we have a security, how big is the security risk? Can we do that next? Or is the security risk got to take priority one over that? So that's what I think is reaping the benefit of a product mentality, looking together at that and making sure this product can evolve over time. And I'm really hoping on those products, we don't have any legacy modernization projects on that product, because it will evolve as technology evolves and will innovate and will give the value